Hello, everyone. My name is Dedrick, and welcome to Historical Trash Box, where we talk about history in trashest way. And today we're going to be talking about the French Revolution. Today I'm partnered here with Sage. Say hi. Or not. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. It's the French Revolution. It's a really bad part of history. So we're just going. I think we might be able to get this summed up in one episode. Maybe not. Let's see how far we get. All right, so the French Revolution refers to a period that began when the Estates General in 1789 and ended in November 1799. With the formation of the French Consultant, many of its ideas are considered fundamental principles of Western liberal democracy. All right, in a short amount of time, we just summed up a whole bunch of stuff. So, Sage, you want to say anything before I continue on?
No, you pretty much got everything down.
All right. All right, between 1700 and 1789, the French population increased from 18 million to 26 million, leading to a large number of unemployed, accompanied by a sharp increase in food prices caused by years of bad harvests. While widespread social distress led to the convict I'm trying to say a word, but con- convection of the Estate General in May 1789, the first time it had ever been called up since 1614. In June, the estates were converted into the National Assembly, which passed a series of radical measures, among them to abolish the feudalism, state control of the Catholic Church, and extending the right to vote. All right. So you want to say anything before I continue? I covered a lot in a little bit amount of time.
Hmm. Uh. No, not really.
All right. So, the next 3 years were dominated by the struggle of political control, exacerbated by economic depression and social unrest. External powers like Austria, Britain, and Prussia viewed the revolution as a threat, leading to the outbreak of the French Revolution Wars in April 1792. The disillusionment of Louis XVIII, King Louis the I'm trying to think of like those Roman numerals. What the hell? I think it's King Louis the 16th. I'm gonna say that led the establishment of the fir- first French Revolution, first French Republic, not Revolution, on the 22nd of September 1792. Following King King Louis's execution on January 1793, in June, an uprising in Paris replaced the Gredins, I think that's what they're called, who dominated the National Assembly and Committed of Public Safety, headed by Maximilien Robespierre. Damn, it took me this long to say his name, but besides point. So you want to say anything, Sage?
Typical, typical French people always get into wars.
Yeah, that's a funny thing that's been on the internet. Like the French always get into wars, but they almost never win.
Poor French people.
All right, let's continue forward. This this sparked the Reign of Terror, an attempt to eradicate alleged counter-revolutionaries. By the time it by the time it ended in July 1794, over 1,600 people had been executed in Paris and across the provinces of France. As well as external enemies were also executed. The Republic faced a last series of internal royalist and Jacobin revolts. In order in order to deal with these, the French directory, I need to learn English. Directory, directory. Okay, screw that word. Took power in November 1795. Despite military success, the war led to an economic stagnation and inverted divisions in the French army. And in November 1799, the directory was replaced by the consultant. Honestly, I kind of just described the basis of what the French Revolution was there, but I didn't really go into details. So yeah, I think I'd have to see when I wrote this script. I kind of touched on it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a read. I probably would in a second episode. I'm going to explain some of these bits. But yeah, Sage, you want to say anything before I guess go because I didn't really write the script all that well.
I found a fun fact.
Uh,
Fun fact about the French Revolution. Prior to the beginning of the French Revolution, peasants were so poor and the cost of food was so high that many starved to death. A loaf of bread was equal to a weekly wages.
that's not a fun fact at all.
Well, at least it's just a fact and all.
Yeah. What was something about King Louis? King Louis, he was, I guess, a dim-witted king. He really didn't. He really let people kind of go over him, like the Jackman Club. They just went right over him, made him wear the Revolution bonnet, and he basically did everything that they told him until he and his wife Marie Antoinette decided to try and leave to Prussia. But that didn't quite work because right at the border, a French soldier stopped their carriage, and asked for their passport, and that was that. And a couple weeks later, King Louis was executed, and a couple months later, Marie Antoinette was executed, the most hated woman in French history. Also, a thing after this ended, there was a certain general named Napoleon Bonaparte. He was he almost lost almost no battles that he had for the longest time. After battle, he just kept winning, winning, and winning, and that just made him the head general. And after the French Revolution stopped, all the consultants and stuff they just broke down. He became the Emperor of France, the first and only one. So yeah, there's a little bit more detail there, but I promise you guys, I'm gonna come out with a part two, maybe in the middle of this week, and just show you and just tell you all about this. Tell you, like, I guess, elaborate on what's going on. So yeah, that's about it for this episode, I guess. Sorry if it was a bit short and a bit stagnant, I guess. It was kind of on a short notice. We really just thought of this idea today. We didn't have much time to do any of this stuff, so if it seems a bit rushed, that's because it was. So yeah. Say, do you want to say anything before you go?
I think I probably mispronouncing this, but as they say in French, adruar. Adruar? How do you pronounce it?
You've insulted the entire country of France.
Adruar. Or baguettes or whatever.
All right, well, yeah, that's the end of the video. So go in the description, check all out our social media. Stay tuned for the next episode. And I love you all, and have a good day.